sir,
Yeah,
your screen is visible.
we are live now, and
Actually, I'm trying to make it full screen. Did you get the full screen version of my PPT?
No, sir, it's not yet full screen. Sir, in the first,
I think now it's fine.
yes, it's fine.
Yes.
Yeah. So shall I go ahead to or
So I'll start with the introduction part and then we
Okay,
can
sure.
start with the session.
Just- Please go ahead. Yes.
Yes, sir. Is my screen visible?
Yes,
Yes.
Komali.
So, good morning, one and all present here. A warm welcome to all of you who have joined us today. It's truly heartening to see people from diverse area of students, faculty, and pharmacists coming together. Today, we have a privilege of listening to the distinguished speaker, Dr. Ramjee Pallela, an entrepreneur with a wealth of experience in the pharmaceutical industry. Dr. Pallela will be speaking on the topic Pharmapreneurs, paving the way for future job creators. As students, faculties, and pharmacists, I believe this topic is particularly pertinent in our field, and entrepreneurship offers a unique opportunity to create new job opportunities. Without further ado, let's proceed. On the occasion of World Pharmacist Day, this year's theme is Pharmacists Meeting Global Health Needs. Some of the housekeeping rules are kindly keep your microphones muted. If you have any questions or queries, kindly type it out in the chat box. And at the end of the session, a Google form link will be shared for the feedback form. And to become a member, kindly log into the website of iplpharma.org. The Indian Pharmaceutical Association, it is a national body representing over 1 million pharmacists and pharmaceutical scientists from industry, academia, regulatory and hospital and community health pharmacy to meet India's healthcare needs. It was established in 1939 in the Banaras Hindu University, and IPA is a non-governmental organization with official relations with the FIP and WHO. The IPA Community Pharmacy Division, carries out various activities and projects such as development and advancement of community pharmacy, improving pharmacy services and pharmaceutical healthcare, and patient welfare. The Indian Pharmaceutical Association Students Forum was formed in 2008 in Mumbai in the presence of former President of India, late Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. The IPA-SF objectives are to facilitate connections and networking so that new ideas can be shared and to open doors to information and new possibilities. We are widespread and are about in 15 states with 5,000 members. We are honored to have Mrs. Manjari Gharat ma'am with us. She is the Vice President of Indian Pharmaceutical Association. She is the former Vice President of International Pharmaceutical Federation and Chairperson of Community Pharmacy Division, IPA. I would like to invite you, ma'am, for a few of the opening remarks.
Great. Thank you, Komali. Good morning, everyone. And I bring you warm greetings from Indian Pharmaceutical Association. And I'm wishing you all a very happy Sunday. So as Komali said, we are all here on the occasion of the World Pharmacist Day. And we are going to listen to a great eminent speaker here. Let me tell you a little about the World Pharmacist Day. Many of my young friends may not be aware. I'm sure all my faculty colleagues, they know what the WPD is. So this World Pharmacist Day was started by International Pharmaceutical Federation, the FIP. In the year 2009, it was approved as 25th September to be celebrated as the World Pharmacist Day. Why 25th September? Because it fixed as the World Pharmacist Day, and it is celebrated all over the world since 2010. And in India, we started a big celebration when Pharmacy Council of India made it a point to announce it as a Pharmacist Day for India too. And this is the time for celebration of the profession. This is the time to acknowledge the pharmacist's contribution in the global health. And this is the time also to learn and for more networking. Now, today's webinar, I'm really happy to see this topic. And you know why? Because we have been always talking about, when we talk to the pharmacy students, we always talk about what are the job opportunities, what are the different career pathways for the pharmacy students. And we're talking about the jobs, but today we're going to talk about the job creators. So we are taking a step ahead, and that is a way to progress. I'm sure there are plenty of opportunities for our pharmacy, young budding pharmacists to be an entrepreneur, to be a pharmapreneur. And this is the most appropriate topic chosen by our young team of IPS Students Forum. I compliment all of them for their hard work. It has been a very busy Sunday for them. I know they have lots of activities today, starting from morning. And so compliments for choosing the right topic, and more so compliments for choosing the right speaker. I'm very grateful to Dr. Ramjee Pallela for his acceptance to deliver this webinar. And I'm sure it is going to be a great learning session as well as an inspiring session. I'm sure all of you and all of us will take the right messages home from this webinar and will act in the future accordingly. So I'm very happy now. I'm very excited to listen to Dr. Ramjee Pallela. And I go back to Komali again and thank you IPSF for organizing this. And thank you for all the attendees for your time, for joining us today live. And those of you who could not join, please make it a point to watch it on the YouTube later on. So happy World Pharmacist Day to one and all. The Pharmacy Week is already on. Pharmacist Day is on 25th September. So we are all here to celebrate our profession and to create new pathways for us. And so is the today's webinar. Thank you, Komali. Komali, you're muted. Komali, please unmute. Yes. Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
The next person, Mr. Raj Vaidya, sir. He is the former secretary and former chairperson of Community Pharmacy Division. He is the community pharmacist at Panjim, Goa. He is the ex-co-member of FIP Community Pharmacy Section and the editor for E-Times IPA CPT. Due to his prior commitments, he couldn't join the meeting. I would like to congratulate Mr. Raj Vaidya, sir, for being appointed as the newly appointed chairperson of Community Pharmacy Division. Now, I would like to, now this is the most interesting and part of the session. I would like to invite Dr. Ramjee Pallela, sir, who is the COO, Chief Operating Officer at ATAL Incubation Center, Center for Cellular and Molecular Biology, Hyderabad. Prior to this, he worked as a Chief Manager, Grants Management Division of IKP Knowledge Park, primarily to work for BIG of BIDAC. Earlier research scientist or project manager at DBT ICGEB Center for Advanced Bioenergy Research, ICGEB, New Delhi. He has done his MBA from Pondicherry University in 2014, his PhD from Osmania University, CSIR IICT at Pedestal Workstation, Hyderabad. He did his postdoctoral studies at South Korea spanning from 2009 to 2012, and PG Diploma in Patents Law from National Academy of Legal Studies and Research, University in Hyderabad. His accolades in his scientific excellence is marked with more than 40 research publications in varied national and international journals or books. He's part of several advisory and governing bodies of incubators and institute innovation councils for various government and private organizations. With this introduction, I would like to welcome today's speaker, Dr. Ramjee Pallela, sir. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much for a brief introduction and also welcoming me for this fantastic 1 second. I'm just trying to make the full screen. Yeah, now it's full screen. So, I was not aware actually. When I know about IPA, but again, there's a students forum or students association, particularly to network, engage, and help each other. How we can actually build, you know, um, wonderful economy for the country. In that sense, I think all of your efforts are really appreciated. And with that note, of course, the topic that you have given or just mentioned, how we can actually work towards entrepreneurship, or maybe even if you are not an entrepreneur, because someone mentioned I myself as an entrepreneur, but I'm not. Just to be clear, I work with several hundreds of startups in the country, and several of the faculty members and a few hundreds of student innovators from schools, colleges, and universities. I am enabling entrepreneurship ecosystem in all sectors, not only into the bio, but also allied science areas. So with that note, how pharmacy sector or pharma or biopharma scientists and Farm D or B Farm, M Farm, all these kind of pharma cluster of innovators or inventors, how they can actually start their own ventures, and what could be some of the prerequisites that they can look for, and how this can be helping our country to go forward when competing with other fellow nations globally. So, um, you know, the COVID scenario is known to everyone. And before to that, maybe about 10 years before, we can say roughly, the incubators also very nice. And biotech or biopharma companies also just few hundreds. And today, post-COVID, I think the number gone to almost 5x, 6x kind of numbers. And if you can see today, close to about 8 to 10,000 bio companies, bio enterprises are there in the country. And similarly, incubators also earlier, maybe about 100, 150, about 10 years before, even lesser than that actually. But still, now we have about 1,000 plus incubators. So why this emergence is happening, why this kind of incubation ecosystem is emerging or innovation ecosystem is emerging in the country. If you can see past again about 7, 8 years, all the ministries, all the departments locally and nationally, they try to collaborate with each other. They try to push this particular sector of entrepreneurship to see a cumulative economy boost for the country. I mean, just to mention, I don't want to give much numbers for the Indian pharma industry, etc., because you already know whether it's a nutraceuticals, pharmaceuticals, cosmeceuticals, and any other drug and biopharma or biotherapeutics area, I think which is all linked well to how our country is just going forward globally. I think we rank third, and how we are just ruling the global pharmaceutical industry is amazing. The skill sets, the manpower, at the same time, the innovation capabilities that I can say. So I think, the 2030 targets are about $130 billion industry. But again, if we can see by 2050, I think, it will cross even more than that, about 3x or 4x. So I think considering this capability of our pharma industry of the country, I think India as a whole, we need to actually show our strengths only in terms of disruptive innovations, not only on the incremental innovations. So how do we do that? How do we actually join our hands to become, a pharma capital of the world, for example? What are the APIs that we are actually producing here? What are the other generics or even any other such kind of medicines or any digital interventions in the pharma? I think India is playing amazing role in the global economy. So just this, some of the slides for the students' benefit, I'm just sharing. But yes, faculty and also other enablers and eminent management team can also look at it from the colleges and universities. I think all the institutions which are having IICs, institution innovation councils or entrepreneurship development cells or any other such means of innovation cells in the organization need to adapt a policy or at least to draft a policy aligning with the national startup and innovation policy NISP. It is 2019 document, well detailed and well segregated for the benefit and incentivization of the students and faculty. So if you can look at those kind of frameworks and highlights and trust areas of NISP 2019, how students are getting benefited in their classroom as well, and even outside the classroom by participating in the various workshops, trainings, competitions like ideathons, hackathons, etc. And again, how we can actually building organizational capacity, HR and other incentives. And in case if the students are not able to attend the classes, what kind of credit support that they can get. And again, IP ownerships and incubation and pre-incubation supports and collaboration opportunities, co-creation opportunities. I think all these together, they actually nicely mentioned in this framework. Please try to look at it so that this can be helpful for your journey. Any startup, despite of background, because pharma areas, probably I can give some examples, though I did not put it on the slides, how someone can start and what are our startups, like, how they have gone forward. But, any startup or any student innovator or a faculty to pursue entrepreneurship, they can actually understand some of the pointers to take care of their entrepreneurship journey or to taste the entrepreneurship journey. So in that process, you have an idea, you have idea that may be related to your core area or expertise area, but outside the expertise area also. And you need to pursue that idea, maybe with comparison to other ideas that you may be having, because a person can have at least 5 to 10 ideas. I mean, you may be having at the moment, okay, why can't I make some kind of device that can work in the space? Okay, why can't I actually get something that can actually take me easily from one point to other point? Okay, maybe you have some kitchen-based issues or toilet-based issues or clinical-based issues, or even on the way when you are going to office or school, college. There are several ideas that may be triggering because of your environmental surroundings or the needs around you in the day-to-day situations. So when you're trying to put these ideas on a paper, how do you understand the pain points? If you can able to build a product or a process around that idea, around the problem statements, around the problems, what kind of customers can actually acquire, who can be the customers, whether the idea itself is viable idea, feasible idea, or scalable idea, what kind of toll gates are there, whether this can be made. For example, someone want to make a fantastic nuclear bomb, for example, okay, or maybe something that can destruct some part or whatever. Okay, so that can be whether this is feasible or not, acceptable or not, whether this can be adaptable or not, right? Talk about the medicine, for example. If you want to, being a pharma student, okay, you are trying to understand a fantastic pharmaceutical formulation, or maybe a kind of, because post-COVID, lot of Ayush-based interventions are coming up and impacting the human wellness and lifestyle, right? So how such kind of Ayush or Ayurveda-based things can be bring in with several scientific evidence. Okay, it's an idea, be it a woman health or child health or in general for any of the human beings wellness, in case if they can actually use those kind of nutraceuticals or pharmaceuticals or even cosmeceuticals, for example. So that ideas, you need to validate or evaluate that particular idea. What kind of market opportunity is there? What kind of value proposition? Is it very unique? There could be some 150 or 1,000 publications may be there. Literature is well known, but no product is in the market. So you want to bring the product. So again, as it is, whether you want to bring it, because patent may not be possible. If you would like to add on some more value, some more, what you can say, touch-ups to the particular existing formulation or idea, then you can go for another patent, right? So IP linked to your value proposition, how it is different from others, and what kind of regulatory clearances that you may be requiring. Because Ayurveda products, the line of regulation, is path of regulation is very different than the new chemical entity or new drug entity that you are trying to actually discover or identify. So which is really relevant, which is really possible, which is really feasible, you need to understand that regulatory landscape as well. And also, what kind of cost parameters, what kind of price point that you are defining for that particular nutraceutical or pharmaceuticals. To give an example, for example, for these particular sleep disorders, for example, someone try to actually go for any, whether ginseng based or maybe mahua based products, how those ingredients are really useful, what kind of those, that's what your job. You know better of these kind of studies, all the PKPD studies that you may be doing, all these things you may be working on. But however, how many ingredients, what is the manpower involvement, what is the cost to make some 5 ml of that mahua based solution for as a dose, one dose cost is how much, or one vial containing how many doses, and that one vial making cost is how much, and the selling price is how much. I think these are the some of the exercises any of the typical innovator who would like to switch to a business through entrepreneurship need to do it. That's where the students, they need to do a lot of, the students means even the faculty or the innovators need to do a lot of what you can say, exercises, okay, surveys that they have to do to understand the right information for the setting up of that business at the right time, by getting the testimonials or information from the key opinion leaders. So that's where the challenges will be understood, obstacles will be understood, risks, how to mitigate in case, okay, this market may be there for another 3 to 5 years only. COVID is gone, maybe something else is coming up, monkeypox or something else. So you have to understand how do you actually pivot your particular journey of entrepreneurship or this particular platform, how do you actually resolve that, right? So to make all these things, to understand, you need to have some supporting hands as a team. I think getting team is very important. Pharmacy student, okay, I am pharma, another co-founder is also pharma. My advisors are also pharma, but why can't we have someone from the business side, someone from the management side, someone is from the what you can say, marketing side, or accounting side, or business strategy and negotiation side. I think this is all is very much important to form a team actually. So you will be doing the product designing and redesigning or iterations that you are doing, and you will be testing that particular formulation, or in animal studies, some may not maybe or may not be requiring animal studies. They can actually go for the clinical trials. Okay, with the human subjects, whether this is working or not. So all these linked to the regulatory pathway, you need to approach those relevant people as well. Then the final formulations will be done. But for all these studies, all these plans, all these execution of these particular works, you need funding. So that's where India is well equipped today with all the funding mechanisms starting from ideation till the commercialization, be it Department of Biotechnology, Department of Science and Technology, ATAL Innovation Mission, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, and Startup India, Invest India, whatnot. All these, actually, in fact, Indian Pharmacology Ministry, I think, that's amazing. I met, Aruna IAS, and they have different thoughts. I think by next 5 to 10 years, they're coming up with brilliant models of how to support these young innovators to promote entrepreneurship and this kind of setting up student prizes student enterprises or maybe faculty enterprises. So with that note, having your wild ideas, you need to execute them boldly and persistently. That is the key ingredients that you need to manage and adapt all the times. And decision making is the key for an entrepreneur. And also look at the aspects so deeply, not superficially. The tip of iceberg, if you can see, it's just very small, but underneath the water, a lot of ice that is there. That means the girth of the problem, the girth of the particular problem statement. In fact, you need to assess. That's what the entrepreneurship quality. I don't want to tell in detail because this is more of a theoretical things where you need to bring in art, science, invention, then innovation. Where is that is coming all from the ideas, and in particular the creative ideas where discoveries happen. So please try to add some other ingredients of art and creativity to your particular innovation and the path of entrepreneurship. I think you will be succeeding so well. So I'm not going to read this, but just to mention about the advantage India, how we are just making the things most favorable for the entire world. The cost efficiency and the drivers of economy. For example, what kind of partnerships and collaborations that we have done. The data is a bit older ones, but still, what kind of policies are involved and what kind of investment opportunities, how they are augmenting from past 3 to 4 years. I think this is very important to look at it because medical tourism is increasing, you all know. How foreigners are coming in, how best medical facilities that we are having, but still there are opportunities of innovation and opportunities of services, opportunities of actually great networking through digital interventions. So look at all these aspects wherever there is an opportunity. See, that's where COVID times, about 1100 or 1200 applications that we received to all the ministries, and those times the dots were well connected, like the supply chain people, the logistics people, the innovation that be it a drug or medical device or diagnostic or any other sanitizers or whatever. I think these are all well connected so that efficiently, including oxygen, for example. Oxygen, supply is a big issue in the phase 2 of COVID, right? So innovators pivot their ideas, pivot their businesses, rejig their businesses to get into this game so that we could able to combat COVID significantly. So understanding those opportunities, I think each of you should contribute how India is having those advantages by means of all these factors and parameters. I mean, I read this article, the pharmacitytimes.com. Very interestingly, they wrote everything is about pharma, but of course, these are the typical traits of any successful entrepreneurs. I think, the experience that make us can actually bring the inspiration. That's the first quality. In order to experience, you have to get interned to particular activity. If you would like to know about electricity, you can actually work with that guy for a week. It's not joke, actually. It's a factual work because some people would like to go for potteries, carpentries, the innovators. I give an example here. One doctor, he's a head and neck cancer doctor. You may be knowing him already because his news gone viral. Dr. Vishal Rao. When cancer happens in the throat box, voice box, it may be removed, right? So this artificial voice box that can be imported, which is costing about 15, 20K or 25K. Still, the patient need to put the pressure with the hand and then speaking to the family members, relatives, but they may not be understanding well. He made a silicon-based small voice box that's actually about $1. I mean, $1, a US dollar. You can say about 80 rupees or 100 rupees. Even less than that, actually. But as they're improvising the quality and the filtering to avoid the food particles from the voice box, so it may be costing even more. But otherwise, it is just uh, in the throat of the patient or the subject who loses the sound box or voice box, it is about 1,000-1,500 rupees or not more than that. And every year we'll be having at least 10,000 subjects. He may not be making so wonderful business out of it, but the impact that he creates, people, those subjects can talk to their family members by telephone with clarity. They no need to put the hand here. But small complication he observed. Why I'm telling this example, having the experiences, is that in order to insert that small silicon based voice box, there should be something, right? Very difficult to insert actually. So he traveled about 200, 300 kilometers in Bangalore area, on Bangalore city to the village area, where they are making some toys, wooden toys. You know, the small toys may be about 25 rupees, 50 rupees, 100, 200 rupees, right? So he asked that person, can you please make something like this where I can actually insert what particular voice box here? So that's another 75 rupees or 70 rupees, something that he made, so that this altogether will be used easy to wash and put it there inside as and when they require. So the art and designing and science innovation came into the picture to create larger impact. So please try to understand your unique experiences around your particular life and lifestyle or journey can actually inspire you to create such impact. And also like-minded individuals who can actually listen to your stories and get excited to join hands with you. That's one good quality. And again, technology. See, no, I may not be using that particular thing. I mean, I myself actually not yet Googled even what is that chat GPT. Please pardon me, but I never. I said it's okay. I mean, not useful. I can use my brain in case my limitations are good enough. But actually, the goods and bads of technology also you need to understand. It can be more imperative and more impactful as well. So using the technology to reach more patients in your ways. So not only ChatGPT, but any other technological interventions, you can look at it. And these particular folks like you are having unique skill sets. So how best you can actually use those skill sets for entrepreneurship is really matter, and adaptive to change, because okay, the ups and downs can be possible. Sometimes funding may be there, sometimes funding may be there, sometimes people may be team members may be leaving, and sometimes you may be alone. But you need to actually adapt to all those changes, including the market changes. Market may be so fluidic, right? So dynamic as well. So you have to adapt to those kind of hardest situations as well. And taking action to achieve dreams as an exciting challenge. I think, pursuing the dreams and also facing the challenges with more exciting manner. I think that's one good quality. And naysayers, there may be so many naysayer is a word where people will be criticizing constantly, but those who are successful, even uh, kind of hearing these kind of words from the naysayers, they're actually amazing, they're brilliant. So it's better to actually avoid those kind of naysayer sayings and proactive in helping others. This is one good quality. And entrepreneurship is not only for the money, not only for the what you can say profits. It's for the impact, human resource development, manpower creation, and also creating impact through helping or serving. So please try to build those kind of systems where you can actually create larger impact and don't afraid to adjust to market. So again, as I told you about the adaptive to change, similarly, I think market demands can be different. Don't be fearful to adjust to them. And knowing innovation takes courage. I think, everybody want to work at the bench, the practical benches. You may be doing some experiment, fantastic results you may be getting, but you don't know how to actually take those inventions to innovations and to marketable products or processes. So I think knowing that innovation capability itself is your the step with a lot of courage. I think that's where you need to look at these particular aspects where you will be having these traits means you will be starting a business. I grabbed this slide. Sorry, couldn't put this link here. For the education purpose, these are some of the characteristics that defined an entrepreneur from a pharmacy education curriculum. I think if you can see the knowledge, whether you have a PD knowledge, business development, or strategic knowledge, project management side, legal side, health systems, leadership, innovation cycle. So these are some of the parameters and skill sets. If you can see, how do you actually solve some problems? How do you adapt? How do you negotiate, strategize, organization skills, interpersonal skills, people management skills, data analytics, for example, technological, how tech savvy you are. And research methodologies again as knowledge as well as skill. And your attitude. Are you so passionate? Are you so flexible or molding yourself, pivotable, futuristic, risk-taking? I think these are brilliant. I mean, today morning when I see this slide, I think to assess your own individual qualities or equipping your biodata when you're pitching for the jobs, I think look at it, walk out, question yourself, how many marks genuinely you can give it to yourself. Your teachers can help you actually because they know about your caliber, they know about your knowledge, skills, and attitude. If your teachers can agree to get it about 60-70% of your skills, I think you are making wonders. So please try to have this kind of understanding about your qualities so that you can able to compete well in those corporate interviews. Because, whatever the pharma companies or corporates that we have in the country, they're all world-class MNCs. So, including Novartis, Sun Pharma, Ciplas, or whatever such kind of companies, the selection criteria is very different. Why I am talking about job interviews than entrepreneurship, don't think like that, because these are all the qualities actually define you, your characteristics well, either for a job or entrepreneurship. See, even I'm just telling you, I never started a startup, but I could able to interact and engage with all sorts of people, starting from school students to, corporate giants, how I can connect all those dots together, including investors, including government agencies, non-government agencies, bankers, angel investors, or even private institutions, government institutions, ministries, etc., etc. Because some of the qualities that I earned is to actually enable this. Similarly, you would be using these kind of qualities and characteristics for your own career path. I hope you get it, but you can ask me questions later. So I think, need of incubation with a biopharma-based incubator is to be understood by any of the innovators, because initially you may be having ideas, but you don't know how to pursue them. Again, you are incubated, but you have something in hand, you got some data generated, but that particular data is correct or not, whether it is well demonstrated or not, or acceptable or not, you have to do some kind of pilots. And once the pilots are successful, I think you need to look for the scale-up avenues. And again, what kind of applications are there? Application processes or government grant agencies, other subsidies to pursue those ideas, pursue those pilot and scale-up studies or regulatory studies to the product development. I think this is also very important for an innovator or student to understand. So generally, the incubation centers like us, you all are most welcome. You can come anytime. So we have such infrastructure, such corporate connections, clinical support, and IP regulatory support, funding opportunities. We run at least a dozen programs in the past 4-5 years, each at a different level, ideation stage and MVP stage, POC stage, proof of concept. POC means, and MVP is minimum viable product. In the pharma language, to say that you have an idea to make some formulation or a kind of therapeutic molecule, something that you're planning. So how did you actually make the ingredients or something to make it at the lab level or test tube level or a flask level? And how do you, that is called in vitro, right? So in the laboratory studies that when you're trying to do and test it, and animal studies that you have done. So your proof of concept is done. And you kind of testing it in the larger animals. So your MVP is also ready. Then you go for the bigger studies and regulations. So it is the one way of pharma path I'm just trying to tell you for your understanding. So and other venture compliances and globalization. So how to form the company, how to actually go for global connects. These are all incubation centers will be helping you. So you can reach and talk to relevant incubators and nearest incubators that you have in the area. So scale up and pilot studies. Yes, there are several services that are available for pilot studies. And again, so many CROs, even you can be the CROs, by the way, with your knowledge and expertise, you can actually act as a CRO. You can actually work with CDMOs for preclinical and other GMP-based activities and industrial scale activities. What kind of studies are there, whether you can contribute somewhere, and co-development activities. And again, co-funding activities where industries will be giving some money, your academic institution or startup that you form can be putting some money combined where you can, both of you can apply for government grants also. So look at all these avenues as a successful pharmapreneur, how we can actually define your strategy for your entrepreneurship. So this quick points I put it today morning that, you can develop an innovative product or a process. That process can be any services, supply chain based or logistics based, any digital platforms that I mentioned to you here. So in silico models, AI, ML interventions, screening several libraries so that some of them can be picked out, trialed for animals as well as humans, maybe about 4 to 5 or 6 years journey. So again, any other simulation studies that you do, molecular simulations, so that you can supply some kind of services to other, what I can say, startups, academic institutions or corporates. That's also an opportunity. Again, technology interventions. Okay. Many of the young innovators, including school students or college students, they're coming up with, okay, not like Practo, but I'm trying to develop some kind of doctor consulting platform or maybe ease of business for the pharmacists because they are facing a lot of problems. So prescription from a doctor can be delivered to pharmacy person and he can deliver to the house of the particular patient without any issues of what I can say, going to the counter, going to the pharmacy center, etc. So I think minimizing such kind of efforts to by a patient, you may be easing their businesses, you may be creating a platform. So all these can be greatest interventions. I mean, if you can see in India itself, about 200, 300 startups are working in these kind of pharmacy-based ease of doing business platforms. So please look at each and every opportunity, how you can be benefited for making some kind of numbers out of this business. So some of the funding schemes or funding opportunities by different agencies that I captured here in this slide, but it's available in the internet. So you have an idea, you can actually go to a market by adapting different funding mechanisms, where you need to put money from your pocket, where you need to actually ask for grants, where you need to look for the angel investment or venture capitals. I think the journey is very clear. You need to adopt certain business jargons and some kind of terminologies like technology readiness level. So, as I mentioned to you, idea to POC to MVP, then small validations or animal trials, clinical trials, scale-up studies, pre-commercialization, then what I can say, commercialization. So these are all technology readiness levels, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So which level, which grant, which funding that you are suitable, you need to understand. So this is an old slide, but still you can look at such information, latest information from website, so that you need to exercise your funding strategies. So this is one example of BIRAC, for example. Lot of programs are there, lot of funding schemes are there, lot of opportunities for student innovators also there. The call for proposals, you can look for it in the upper tab of BIRAC website. This one blockchain for impact, one scheme, it is closed actually, but every year we'll be opening up. So anybody like, M.Pharm students or M.Tech students, PhDs, MBBS students, we opened it because they're having some gaps post completion of their masters or PhDs. And also we put one kickstart grant of 10 lakhs under this initiative. So next year call or next call, you can look at it. Actually, AIC-CCMB website, you please look at it. And also, most of you may be in LinkedIn, but still follow LinkedIn pages of all these incubators, pharma related information, and also government agencies and some of the corporate information, so that you will get to know what is happening around the world. So this another fellowship program that I'm highlighting here. Anybody aged under 35 years of age can be eligible. You don't need to have any ideas. You don't need to have any particular technologies or products or startup in place. Just 35 under, you're eligible. But you need to have that passion, curiosity, and those traits that I mentioned to you. Some kind of knowledge about this program, some kind of knowledge about the relevant themes. There are 3 themes: climate resilience, farm to plate, and third one is public health. Most of the pharma students definitely falling into these particular aspects, where public health, where you can work on medical devices, diagnostics, formulations, or Ayurveda-based products, nutraceuticals, pharmaceuticals, anything in that area. Otherwise, you can, despite of your background, you can pitch it to climate resilience also. You can pitch it to farm to plate as well. Because last 2 cycles that we did for our AIC-CCMB, one is aging and health, the other one is maternal and child health. Out of the 5 fellows of each cycle, 3 of them are engineers, not from biology. So please understand this. This particular program, SPERSH program, affordable healthcare, affordable products and processes for societal health, relevant to societal health. They actually look at young innovators from science background. They can actually imply their knowledge and enthusiasm and skill sets for identifying problem statements in those particular areas to bring solutions. There is a clear-cut immersion for you. You will be going to 18 months, you will be getting 60,000 rupees per month for 18 months and also 10 lakhs kickstart grant. Earlier it is 5 lakhs, but they increase. The call will open in a month or 2 months time. Please look at Byrack's website. So this is a fantastic process for your entrepreneurship career. So please look at it. So this is some of the programs for school students that we have done at AIC-CCMB, and they have built different prototypes and products. And two of the teams gone to Russia also. And right bottom, Seher, for example, smart glove she made, and she got Diana Award as well. So young innovators, they're actually making brilliant products and processes. So why can't you too? Right. So this is another one maybe of your interest, a Center for Predictive Human Model Systems that we have in AIC-CCMB. We do a lot of workshops and trainings and also white paper publications in microphysiological systems. We actually promote organoids, organ-on-a-chip kind of things. How these models can be on par with clinical models or human models. Preclinical models, for example, animals are there. You are using mice, rabbits, hamsters, or monkeys, whatever. If you can make a liver or maybe a tissue relevant to eye or maybe pancreas, kidney, brain, anything, and the new formulations or cosmetic samples, cosmeceuticals or nutraceuticals can be tested. So the outcome results are equally comparable or correlative to the animal studies or superior or not is very much important. That's where now we started funding also in these areas. So please look at this particular area. It is emerging because another 5 years, 3 to 5 years, maybe we can at least get some kind of framework ready for these kind of models. So support mechanisms for students, I mentioned to you, these young innovation programs and Gandhian Young Technological Innovation Fellowship for you. And Sparsh program I mentioned to you, that is SIIP. Nidhi EIR, Nidhi Prayas programs from NSTEDB or DST Nidhi. You can look at it at the DST page. And PhDs and postdocs, University Innovation Cluster Fellowships, EUA centers. Byrack set up EUA center. And again, ATAL Community Innovation Centers that are, for example, CBIT in Hyderabad and KL University, I think, maybe some other universities that they got these ACICs and MKBAN Young Research Fellowship Program. All these programs are available depending on your educational background, depending on your skill sets and expertise. And also, don't stick to your curriculum alone. You have to have an extra feather, extra skill set in your cap. Otherwise, how do you stand among other 100 fellow classmates or batchmates that you have around? How do you differentiate yourself from others? Means you have to have another small certification course are available. It can be regulatory side, it can be policy side, it can be of any strategic management, strategic partnership, or maybe what you can say, clinical management, clinical data management. Please don't actually spend your entire curriculum time of 2 years or 4 years or whatever integrated pharma. I don't know the exact course periods. I'm telling, use it properly because before 35 years only you can do multiple such kind of course and curriculums and certification courses that can be used even after your 45, 50 years age. Trust me. So nothing is waste. Try to actually acquire extra skills before you actually go into your job or something. So this particular slide is about ATAL Incubation Center CCMB. All these programs that we are doing or partnered in the past 6.5, 7 years is to encourage entrepreneurship, not only the startups, but also individual innovators like you. There may be some of the startups who are in the audience now or listening this particular webinar, but still they may be struggling at some step. So those particular bottlenecks can be identified or resolved by the incubators like us. You can come and talk to us. There are about at least 70, 80 good life science and biopharma or healthcare startup incubators in the country. So try to actually look at them, and all these kind of programs can be helpful for you to engage with the incubators to proceed with your entrepreneurship journey. So thank you so much. I hope I try to justify the topic of what kind of prerequisites that a pharma entrepreneur uh, would look at it, and throughout their curriculum or maybe post completing the course, what kind of opportunities they can look for. And somewhere I mentioned to you, probably internships are very much important. Even if you are not getting job immediately, just join in a startup that is working in the relevant areas of biopharma, nutraceuticals, pharmaceuticals, etc. I think that experience and exposure will make you to think through how important is the entrepreneurship journey, how solidly you have to actually equip your things and skill sets to set up your own enterprise. I think with that, I'm just stopping by and opening up for the questions.
Thank you so much, sir. That was really an insightful session. We have few questions in the chat box. I will read it out for you. What are the key challenges that pharmapreneurs face when entering the pharmaceutical industry, and how can it be overcome? Sir, can you unmute yourself?
Yeah. I mean, I'm saying it's a very important question because initially you all get excited to, pursue an idea, and you will get certainly the initial funding and initial support by other stakeholders as well. But when you're trying to actually link these interventions, innovative interventions to pharma industry or to the what you can say channel partnerships you want to make, or selling this particular know-how to the bigger companies or to another stakeholders who marketing stakeholders, I think that's where major challenges you will be facing. So that is the reason, in order to overcome this particular thing, I think the exercise that I mentioned to you, 1 second, I'll just show you. So this is one, the slides, I can share it to you later. These kind of questions will help you actually to overcome those futuristic problems. Because these 30, 40 questions, for example, demand analysis, where how much demand is there, who are the initial target audience, what kind of problem statements you are targeting, and what kind of economic opportunity, how it is different, how it is really defensive when you compare with other existing solutions. Again, team I mentioned to you, and resources I mentioned to you, and your market risk and execution risk. If you answer to all these questions, I think you will be overcoming these particular aspects. So, secondly, the business plan that you are making, you may not be selling everything, right? See, I'll tell you one example. One startup called Oncosimis, our startup. So they developed two technologies through fermentation. One is BACSEC, that is bacterial expression-based technology. Another one is um, oh, 1 second, I forgot BACSEC and ACT-set, I think. So these two technologies. Second one is a mammalian expression technologies. Okay, where CHO cells, they expressed therapeutic molecules. So why they made is that current industrial practices, the yield is very less. So they address this particular technology, this problem and develop the technology such a way at least 2x yield they promised, and they proved it, and they made altogether about close to 20 IPR, intellectual property, that's including trademarks, certifications, registrations, IP, patents, etc. Why I am telling this example here? They thought through already. I may not be selling these, but I can be the best service provider for these industries. Also, I can license these particular uh, technologies to multiple MNCs. So they licensed it also. So this is one way. These are the key challenges you have to anticipate in advance. How do I sell it to industries, relevant industries, who are they? And whether they will be adapting or not, that is where the surveys will be helping you. So I think I answered first question. Second is how do pharmapreneurs tackle the public backlash against the high drug prices while maintaining sustainable? Okay, very good question. See, the price issues always are there. If there is a drug costing about 1.5 crores when you are importing, for the rare diseases, that's the situation in India. Even CAR T cell therapies, for example, that we are looking at it. So even what kind of backlash regarding the because the CDSCO and also drug regulatory also will control your pricing models, right? So you have to actually come to a kind of common price point where this can be reliable and affordable to the common public, or government may be actually giving some kind of subsidies. Otherwise, you also should not be getting those losses, right? So you have to have such kind of partnerships with the existing manufacturers or suppliers in the game. That is where I think, the world is emerging with joint ventures as well as partnerships. So I think very good question. You have to actually understand these pricing strategies, how these super cost drugs can be made affordable. That is where the innovation also plays a key important role. And what are the potential impacts of regulatory changes on pharmapreneurs, especially in areas like drug approval timelines? I think past few months, what we observed is that ICMR and CDSCO, they're working together. They're actually collecting a lot of information from the entrepreneurs and pharma industries. See, it's not an overnight change in the regulatory frameworks, but yes, the speed is getting increased. There is some kind of what you can say synergies coming up where the drug regulatory changes or interventions or existing practices also kind of being so transparent to startups, innovators, and also pharma industries. So whatever the future changes also are coming, that is not affecting the industry per se, but for the betterment of the nation itself, locally, if we can speak about it. So don't worry much about it, but yes, some kind of impacts in the stem cells regulatory and also regeneration therapies and also recombinant as well as the GMOs probably also. So all these kind of things are really cutting edge technology areas. Definitely the frameworks are to be improvised and made so easy for the benefit of businesses. We share the funding slides. Okay. I'll share all these slides, Satish. Definitely I'll be sharing the slides to the organizers so that they can circulate. And name few Pharmapreneurs fellowship programs in India. What are the eligibility? I think I mentioned to you. See, don't put a word exactly as a Pharmapreneurs, because India is now currently opening up entrepreneurship opportunities for any of the streams, any of the backgrounds. But for your question, particularly if you want to look at these biopharma areas, you can look at the NIPERS. because all NIPERs, including NIPER Hyderabad, where I am part of it, NIPER Hyderabad is having different fellowship programs, different schemes that they are having. Even NIPER Guwahati, for example, they have got ATAL Incubation Center also. So these kind of Bionest and AIM-based incubators working in the pharma education courses, they are having such programs and fellowships. Please look at the websites or LinkedIn. You can get more opportunities. Otherwise, in specific, I can share later also. How can student of third year fourth get to know about the fellowship? That can be actually we come to different colleges and universities for outreaching programs. Those particular programs addressing about a few hundreds of students about, okay, this BFI fellowship is there, these are the eligibility criteria, or this first fellowship program is there, this Nidhi EIR fellowship, because Nidhi DST supporting Nidhi program is there. We give fellowship program or fellowship or that grant to even individual innovators working in the pharma area also. They are developing certain therapeutic molecules or formulations also, or some vaccines also. So please try to look at it, especially third year, fourth year students. I think take permission from the management and do internships in these relevant startups or pharma companies where you will be getting a lot of exposure related to that and help the achieve the entrepreneurship dream. Yes. So you will be certainly getting such kind of entrepreneurship understanding when you address when you attend several internship programs and hybrid based programs that we conduct at AIC-CCMB kind of incubators and also such webinars. What kind of entrepreneurship opportunities are available in pharma industry for chemical engineers? Oh, very good question. See, the importance of chemical engineers is very much and huge in the pharma sector, especially those who develop certain processes. You know, these chemical engineers only can build those particular platforms for the larger companies. So certainly, I think you can, because when we receive applications in biotechnology ignition grant of BIRAC, I think some of the what you can say pilot platforms or uh, any sewage treatment platforms or maybe AMR based antimicrobial resistance based platforms. If someone is developing, all are chemical engineers or chemical engineering based solutions that they are providing. So I think, please look at it very deeply of what a pharma sector or a pharma industry is really needing to run their day-to-day operations. I think you would be solving their problems easily. Right. So please look at those kind of opportunities closely. Any other questions from the audience? This slide someone asked. Any other slides, Miss Meda?
Yes, sir. I think those are the questions.
Okay,
Yes,
sure.
sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for your very insightful session. Your expertise provided valuable perspectives on what kind of qualities entrepreneurs should be having, and for sharing various policies and schemes with us, and about various opportunities that pharmacists have in this field.
Any other questions from the organizers per se, where you expected me to actually deliver a talk on something else? Maybe I may be talking something else. Did I cover the relevant aspects, or did I miss certain things so that I can briefly mention a note?
So we don't have any questions.
All right.
You
Thank you. Thank you so much for
everything
this
was.
opportunity. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. It was complete, and all the points were covered. So I'll just share my screen, sir. The feedback link has been posted on the comment section. We'll be getting in contact with all the participants within 15 days for the certificates. There's a few announcements. There is exam blueprint challenge that is going on from IPASF and IPCPD. The results for this will be announced soon on 25th September. And a Metaverse hackathon is going on, and it started from today. So I encourage all the IPA members, and please join IPA. Please take the IPA membership, and you can join this Metaverse hackathon. I request Mr. Raj Vaidya, sir, to please deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you. It was a great session and very, very informative. And I think, Sir Dr. Ramjee Pallela, you have done full justice to the topic given to you. And we are very much grateful for giving the exposure to the students and the other, all those who have joined, because this is again a very much a need of the hour. And students, because huge number of pharmacists are coming out every year, lakhs, and there are new colleges being added every year. So that compounds the problem. What are the job opportunities available? And the country and the nation leaders always talk about entrepreneurship. So, and not much exposure is given, or not much of skills are being provided at the curriculum level. So this sort of exposure, we thought it would be best to give them this exposure from an expert like you. And we are very much thankful to you for making such a wonderful, detailed presentation. Your expertise was always informed to us, and I think you did good justice to that. And I also thank all the participants for being present today. And as Sir said, we will share the slides with you, and as well as thanks to the Student Forum for their wonderful work and collaboration, setting up this session, coordinating with everybody, doing all the poster work, as well as moderating today's session. The students are already prepared to be the next generation, and we are very happy to hand over things to them, because they are already entrepreneurs in many ways. And your professional guidance, sir, has given this additional outlook for them. And we look forward to having more interactions with you. And I'm sure you will guide our students, especially the pharmacy sector. Even when it comes to these, even the hackathon, which you mentioned, is something which is the students' initiative.
Yes,
The
great.
other thing is that startup cells, we see them very much in engineering colleges, but we don't see those aspects in pharmacy colleges. I think it is something which needs to be included, startup cell, because we as such are not aware of this, how to go about
If you can, even if you can let us know some of the colleges, probably we are happy to come and interact with the students and faculty. Maybe I think organizers can connect through those colleges. We'll do some outreach programs to give more details about all our programs that we have. Yeah.
Can you allow me to share my video? Yes, we'll definitely do that. Thank you very much for your offer
Thank
of
you, sir.
help.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Please.
And yeah,
Yeah, we will conclude today's webinar. Thanks to everybody.
thank you. Take care, all of you. Bye. Bye. Thanks.
Mohit, I think we can stop the live.
Wait for 2 minutes. After that, we will start the live. Okay.
Okay.
Wait for 2.